Welcome to our Korker Tassie tour, where we'll show you the places that we love. The sign says stop, look for oncoming traffic like we just had. Use four-wheel drive and low range. Test trailer brakes. Proceed with caution. So this place is on the Mersey River. You can book on their website, which is Sherwood River, or through Hip Camp. $10 per person per night. And you've got to be self-contained. This is our first night in Tassie. We're at Sherwood River camping ground, which is outside Latrobe. Some friends of ours contacted us this morning and they're here in Tassie. They're staying here. We're going to go have sit by the fire with them tonight. They're always these devilish adventures. We met them in our first lap of Oz, so it's great how these people that you meet and chat with reconnect with you. So Peter's done barbecue meat from Hill Street Grocers and some broccolini, and we're just going to sit here and chill out by the Mersey River at our campsite. Sherwood River Camp is only a 15-minute drive from the Spirit of Tasmania port. It's a really handy spot at the beginning or the end of your Tassie adventure. This was filmed at the beginning of January, and you can see that there's still plenty of space available for campers. We'd originally planned to stay just 2 nights and ended up staying nearly a week. You need to be self-contained, but you can have fires here on the property. They also have firewood for sale. There's great mountain bike trails next door and walks as well. We highly recommend this camp. It's one of our favourites that we've ever been to. Campground's right near the Wild Mersey mountain bike trails too, so we're just going to do a little bit of a walk to have a look rather than ride our bikes at this stage. You're just looking at quartz veins in the rocks. This is the Warrawee Suspension Bridge, which is part of the Mersey mountain bike trails. Pretty cool. It's just up from our campground. Our campground just down there. Local kids. Mustn't be too far from the town then. coconut stimner. Ribeye from Hill Street Grocers. This is, just so you know, this is a marine sizzler barbecue that we have. It's got a glass lid on it so you can see what you're roasting or baking. When we do bake, we do indirect cooking, so one of the front burner will be, back burner will be turned off, and the food placed over the back burner, and then the front burner will be where the heat will be creating the convection heat to cook. And searing off that steak, giving it a good bark. Looking good. In the meantime, I've cooked some potatoes and sweet potato in the microwave with beef stock, thyme, salt and pepper. So they're partially cooked, so that when we go to roast off the meat, we can put these in at the same time to finish cooking. Time for our steak to have a rest now. Put some butter on there.
Yum. What's in the butter?
Garlic, thyme, salt and pepper.
Wow. Yum. It's melting already. Beautiful.
Okay, now you've got to cover it up and let it rest for 20 minutes.
Yep.
And in the meantime, we'll keep cooking our potatoes and our broccolini. How's this for the location? Top spot. We've got our steak, yum.
Yeah.
Okay, top two. Show the screen.
There we go. Some roast veg. That's good. Yum.
Try a bit, huh?
I want some more. Oh, that's good. That is good.
I wish you had taste vision. Oh my god. Yeah, we should have some red one. We've got that really nice Chateau de Chinamba.
Can't do that Chateau Chinamba. Turn into Chateau Chunda.
Oh, don't say that.
Tanunda. And leave it tomorrow.
I know some people say that it's overcooked because it's not medium or rare. We like ours. Well, I like ours medium to well.
It's well done.
Yeah. I prefer not to have my beef mooing. If you're wondering how we go sitting at the dining table with the recliners, it works.
Beautiful.
Yay! Can't wait. That is so good. I'm going to get one of those again one day. Worth the indulgence.
Ribeye.
We rode into Latrobe from the campground on the Slade Road trail. This is Slade Road here. We're just riding back. We went to have a look at an antique shop, but it's not open today, so a nice day for a ride though. So Slade Road goes next to the Mersey River. The road itself leads to the beginning of the mountain bike trails. Then it goes to Warrawee Suspension Bridge, where you can see platypus sometimes, and then back to our campground. Rides and elevation changes for the Railton and Sheffield Trail Network and the Latrobe Trail Network. A wash station to clean your ride, toilets and a drink station and bike parking. Pretty good setup. We'll be going up that trail, the Warrawee Conservation Area trail, to head back to camp. About a 9k ride. We're not used to it anymore, are we, honey?
We didn't for ages. Yeah, we'll get back into it.
Yeah, that's good.
It's good fun.
Although I'm not very steady on it anymore. We were riding down Shale Road, whatever it is, Shade Road. And I got up to 25k an hour and I thought, geez, I'm whizzing along. And then I thought, well, that's this pace I used to just do my training rides at when I did triathlons. My race pace was about 35.
You could get
pretty
up to
sad.
35 on these.
I know. I ran out of legs at the moment. Anyway, it's good fun. And we didn't see any platypus. You've got to make sure you go through every door and nook and cranny in Rilquay. You'll find another secret little garden. It's cute. Off with the head. This is the donation camp or $10 a night camp at Latrobe in Tasmania. There's a toilet block here. So no showers but toilets. And it's just behind the shops in town. Handy little spot to have a look around Latrobe and explore. This is the big platypus at Latrobe. He stopped swimming, didn't he?
Yeah, all covered in moss.
Yeah, he's gotten mossy. This is at the Axeman's Hall of Fame. We've been in there once before. We're not going to go today, but worth having a look at. This is near the Axeman's Hall of Fame. Apparently there's a lot of platypus around here. We haven't seen one yet. This is at Bell's Park?
Bell's Parade, yeah.
Bell's Parade at Latrobe. Apparently this was the site of a wharf in the 1920s. Which is interesting because that river doesn't look very big for a wharf.
Yeah.
The island over there is Pig Island, and that's an off-leash dog area for those of us who have poochers with them. Peter decobwebbing the plaque for me. This is a tribute to cycling in the area back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. What happened, honey?
Tiger snake. It's down there somewhere.
Peter was walking along that section behind our awning, and the snake was going apparently across here and went down there into the gully. There's only two types of snakes in Tasmania, deadly ones,
Yeah, pretty sure it's a tiger.
and the tigers look really black here. They almost look like black snakes.
Brown, but it still has the dark stripes on it.
So he's down there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know where it's. I thought I kept my eye on it because I was trying to get your attention. So I think it's could still be just hidden in this long road. Should be easy to see.
Wildlife Wednesday. Kind of wildlife we don't like seeing. Tassie tiger snakes. This is the one that Peter saw just beyond where he's standing now.
I stepped on it. I've stepped on a
That
tiger
far from our van.
I've stepped on a tiger snake in Queensland. It wasn't pleasant. Mist coming off the water.
Join us in our next episode as we head towards Launceston and show you a few things to see and do around there. Subscribing is as easy as scanning the QR code on your screen. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe or drop us a comment. We'll bring you another great camp and things to see and do around Lonnie.